right, so failure. A lot of people fear failure, and it actually can paralyze people from making the step to, like I did, a failure of not having an employee work out paralyzed me to make a hire earlier than I should have. For some people, it can paralyze them to completely not start their business at all, and just never even take the leap. So the question is, if your business never fails, then it's not a failure, correct? False. You need to fail to succeed. Every single one of you will fail over and over again, but people aren't going to talk about all the times you failed. They're going to talk about that one time that you succeeded. So the failure is not, it's not a one or the other. You're not going to either succeed or fail. You're going to fail, 50 or 100 times, and then you're going to succeed. But in order to succeed, you need to have all those failures, learn from them, and adapt, and then be able to learn from each of those steps to be able to get to that success. So the failures aren't necessarily that you're doing the wrong thing. I mean, yes, it is that you're doing the wrong thing, but it's an indication. It's a way to measure the response of something that you're doing. And the real success in failing is being able to really identify why something failed and what metrics you can extract from that failure to be able to remeasure the next time you make an attempt slightly modified, so that each time you make a new attempt, you measure the same metrics, and then determine what the impact has been from that. Any questions so far? I'm kind of flying through these slides. Okay. All right. So I just came up with this stupid analogy yesterday. So think of failure like cooking a turkey. When you put the turkey in the oven and then check the temperature and it's only at 140 degrees, does that mean that you failed at cooking a turkey? No, it just means you haven't finished cooking the turkey yet. But if you never put the turkey in the oven, then you're definitely going to fail at cooking a turkey. So that's kind of like just a weird little metaphor I came up for that. So this is my last slide, and then we'll do questions or breakout groups or whatever you suggest. So the core traits, from my experience, that I believe a successful entrepreneur should have. First, we already talked about this in this presentation, is the ability to persevere through multiple failures, many failures over and over again, knowing that they have a vision of what their success looks like. They have an idea of what the steps are to get there. They don't know exactly what the steps are to get there, but they have a vision of where they want to get to, and then each time they fail, they measure and learn from that, and then adapt the next time they try, ultimately so that they can get to that success that one time. So that's the first core trait of an entrepreneur. Second one is being able to let go, being able to make your job repeatable and outsource it to somebody else. You should never have a critical position in your company that your company depends on you as the owner, because you'll never scale that way. If you're doing critical tasks to your business, then you're always going to be your bottleneck to the company, and that's not a scalable platform. So having your job be repeatable and processized and outsourced to somebody else is absolutely critical to success. Now, some people want to just maybe start like a small, what I call a lifestyle business, something where you can make like a solid $500K a year off of, and you just kind of do all the work and go out and just kind of keep it the size it is. But if you want to truly scale a business and really get to a large enterprise, you need to make yourself completely obsolete, and you need to make your job repeatable and outsourceable. Next one is removing emotions from the extremes, ups and downs, because you're going to have days where maybe you just landed on a Monday, you don't know how you're going to make payroll on Friday, and then on a Tuesday you just close a $600,000 contract, and now you're like rolling in money. So there's always these extremes, ups and downs in running a business, and it's just a part of what it is. So you need to kind of remove yourself emotionally from what's happening in the day-to-day. And the way that I think about it is, if I was an advisor for somebody else's business with like nothing at stake, how would I advise that person? What would I tell them to do? What advice would I give them? And when I find myself getting wrapped up in the heat of the moment, or frustrated or stressed out or emotional about something, I just remind myself, if I was an outside advisor, what would I do? What would I say to this person in this situation? And then that's how I can kind of ground myself and bring myself back to the analytical and the just the current situation. Having a mission and a vision is important. Also, I'll add to that core focuses, or a core focus. In order to get your team, that laser thing we talked about, in order to get your team on that, that laser focused path, you need to have a core mission, a core vision, and core values, and be able to articulate that very easily to your team and get buy-in from your team. That should be part of your hiring process. If you're interviewing somebody and they're not like super on board and super excited about your mission and your vision and your values, then that's not the right person for your company. So, you absolutely have to have this defined and have a way to just tell how people are, responding to it and how on board they are or not. And then the last thing, but actually is probably one of the more important ones, is the ability to inspire confidence. A true entrepreneur should be able to not only inspire confidence in their employees, but also in their customers. Regardless of how gloomy the situation is, there's going to be, as I said, there's going to be ups and downs all the time. So you need to be able to inspire confidence that the path that you're on and the steps that you're taking currently are the right steps, and that people need to feel like they need to feel like you're able to boost everybody up and get everybody on board with what you're saying. So that's it. If anybody has any questions for me privately, feel free to email me or LinkedIn me.